Football League, Saturday night at 7, live and exclusive on Sports Channel. Should be a good one as Bob Ricca's club, high-profile offense going up against a tough St. Peter's defense. Right now, Hofstra trying to get back in the game. They trail 19-7 as we begin the fourth quarter, facing a 2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line. Jeff Bicchetti in the ball game at the superback spot. Buys a little play action, trying to screen it off to Bicchetti. 35, he breaks a tackle. Bicchetti driving inside the 30 as the first down at the 28-yard line.
And all the credit right there goes to George Beisel. He held on the ball till the very last second before he dumped it off to Bicchetti, and he took some punishment there.
Shane Greer eventually on the tackle. That screen has worked effectively for Hofstra as we look at it again.
Well, look at George. He goes back, he pumps once, and 3 guys collapse on him, slams him to the ground, but he picks up the big first down.
Tim Pendleton, number 47, laid the hit on him, almost intercepted at the 15-yard line. And that one's one that Beisel wishes he had back. Larry Winters, who had an interception last year, the 6'3" junior from Indianapolis, who they say has great potential. He's a 6'3" 190-pounder, sometimes doesn't play very hard in practice and earns the wrath of the coaching staff.
Well, he played that very well because George went back, he gave the pump. Winters didn't go for the pump. Kenny Cologne went outside. Winters came up for the ball and should have been intercepted.
2nd and 10 from the 23. Beisel in trouble, avoided the sack. Bicchetti will get about 5 yards before he's tackled by that man, Dave Kathman, who had that big interception earlier at the 3-yard line. And also Matt Kistler put some pressure on the quarterback, number 42, out of his linebackers.
Well, Kistler came straight in between the guard and center. Somebody's got to pick him up, especially when the superback, Jeff Bicchetti's going out to the flats. That's the responsibility of those young offensive linemen.
3rd and 7. George Beisel earlier in their only touchdown drive converted on a couple of big 3rd down plays that led to their TD. Grogan in motion. Beisel with time, looking for Grogan. Winters got a piece of the ball as he deflected it. Grogan and Cologne were in that same area. And Winters deflected that ball using all of his 6'3" height to get up there and bat it away.
And the one thing George did that time, he came back and he looked right to his receiver. He didn't look off. It gave the defenders, Winters, an opportunity to play the ball.
Walt Olshansky, who really struggled last year with field goals, 3 for 8, will attempt a field goal here. This one will come from about the 27-yard line. It'll be a 37-yard attempt. Olshansky looked good in practice in the scrimmages, boots this one up, but it is no good as it sailed to the right. So Hofstra down 12, went for the field goal there on 4th down and came up with no points.
Well, Joe Gardy's got to be scratching his head right now. His offense is moving the ball very consistently, but as soon as they get to the 20-yard line and 20 to the end zone, they're starting to putter. He's got to get the momentum. If the run and shoot is going to be successful, you can't run out of field. You just have to play.
Well, Hofstra's going to need a turnover here, something that Butler has not provided them with so far. No interceptions, no fumbles. Johnson straight ahead. Crosses the 20. There's a big pile up there. Hofstra driving back. Again, Jeff Johnston, who's been in the middle of a lot of tackles, along with Emery Tyler and Joey Driver. Short pickup. Here's Carl Reuter on the field.
Barry, the secondary was thin to start the season. It's gotten even thinner. There is Dante Gillum. He is done for tonight. He's got a bruise on the right thigh. He says he's okay, but they're icing it up right now. He did want to pass along a happy birthday to his dad, Frank, though, down in St. Petersburg, Florida. But Dante is done for tonight.
All right, Carl. So the secondary a little depleted. George Ferrantino not available for tonight's play also. He'll be back for next week's game. One of the safeties. Rocco Sadler stopping the play as the clock continues to tick on the running play right there. And there's a guy that's been a workhorse tonight. Big number 38, Richie Johnson. He said, I did the dirty work last year as the fullback block, and now it's my turn to be the tailback.
Give me the ball. Let me run, Coach. And I think Ken LaRose is doing an excellent job. Right now, you got Johnson running the ball 23 times, picking up 87 yards.
Well, that's what he wants his tailback to do. Hofstra needs to stop him here on 3rd and about 2.5 yards. Johnson will try straight up. breaks the tackle. Hofstra had him stopped shy of the first down, but second effort, great leg drive, gave him the first down.
Well, second and third determination, that's what's going to, if Butler should hold on to this win, that's why they're going to win, because these young men are playing with determination. Watch here, Johnson hits the pile, runs into his offensive lineman, comes out, and still picks up the first down.
So, clock ticking now, 12:10 to go, fourth quarter. The Butler Bulldogs out of Indianapolis, Indiana, off an 8-2 season, looking sharp right now. Johnson again gets the call, cuts back, and makes the defender pay as he crosses the 40. Rocco Sadler on the tackle, but Johnson really delivers a blow. If you're going to tackle him, you're going to pay the price.
And the one thing is, you have to have your front seven getting a piece of Johnson. That's 25 carries for 100 yards, and once Johnson breaks through those front seven, that's why you're going to see these secondary guys take punishment. Dante Gillum is a hard hitter, but you cannot give a guy that's 6'1", 210 pounds, a 10 yards head start running straight at you.
9-yard pickup, 2nd and 1. Stay on the ground. Johnson tries to go outside, and this time they had great pursuit. Peter Scheibe coming up with Jeff Johnston very quickly on the play. Rocco Sadler also over there. Boy, Jeff Johnson has had a lot of tackles tonight.
And Johnston right here, he's going to isolate on Johnson. Watch it. He comes right off his defensive line, pops him, drives him back, comes up with a little bit of help from Shanahan.
So it's 3rd and 3. And once again, Hofstra has to try and stop him on a 3rd down play and get that ball back. 10:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Flying Dutchman trailing 19-7. Saw a little play action, buys some time, in trouble now, steps away. Will try to run for the first down. Now throws it upfield, and it's going to be picked off by Peter Scheibe. Scheibe gets a block down the sideline at the 40, and out of bounds at around the 32-yard line.
And that is the first big mistake by Jason Stahl. He's got the ability to run. You only need 3 yards. Run the ball, pick up the first down. Instead, he throws a big interception. Peter Scheibe comes back, returns it 24 yards.
If we get a look at it again, Vinny Leone, number 94, gives him the big block to spring him.
But watch Stahl, right here, he only needs 3 yards. Don't throw it up for grabs. Peter Scheibe, excellent play. Stretches out. Watch the block coming up by Vinny Leone right there, knocks him down. Peter Scheibe, excellent job.
All right, let's see if the Dutchman can take advantage. Pichetti inside the 20, the first down at the 16-yard line. Jeff Pichetti stutter stepping his way. Larry Winters brought him down, and the Hofstra crowd is alive as Peter Scheibe right now has given him some life, the senior from Yorktown Heights.
And that's what they need right now, a big play on defense. Now the momentum's back in George Beisel's hand. They've got the first down. They're inside the 20. They've got to keep it going.
First turnover of the ball game for the Butler Bulldogs. First poor decision-making effort by their quarterback, Jason Stahl. He's played a near-flawless game. Beisel on 1st and 10 at the 17. In trouble. Trying to get away. Kistler had him, and then he broke free and finally was brought down by Kistler, who chased him down. Matt Kistler, number 42.
Well, that's a sack by the secondary right there. George Beisel couldn't find anybody to throw it. George is going to have to make a decision earlier. If the receivers aren't open, don't take the sack, pick up positive yards.
A loss of about 3 on the play. You see the time remaining. Hofstra trailing. This is the 3rd time they've been inside the 20. Beisel stepping up, throwing deep into traffic for Cologne. It's going to be picked off and then fumbled after the return. It's loose. And let's see what the ball will be. Who will go to?
And there's a flag on the play, Barry. We could have interference.
Shane Greer came up with the ball. And then there was a flag right after that. Pass interference against the defense. Oh, that's a big break for Hofstra. Matt Kistler was putting pressure on George Beisel as he unloaded that pass. Shane Greer picked it off, but it will go for naught.
All right, here he's looking for Kenny Cologne. He goes down and out.
Pass interference on the defense. First down.
As you can see, number 22 is riding on his back. That's pass interference by Larry Winters.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Remember, Hofstra had first and goal at the 1.5, 2 yard line and couldn't score earlier in this second half. And now they must score here, trailing by 12 with 9:23 to go. Wayne Crabette in the ball game. Line up wide to the right in a triple set. Beisel dumping it off quickly to Bicchetti. Bicchetti at the 10, at the 5. Bicchetti into the end zone for a touchdown.
And that's why Jeff Bicchetti is a super back, because he's got the speed, the ability to take the ball outside. Right there, an easy screen, but he takes it all the way around the defense and scores into the end zone.
Bicchetti, who was the #2 receiver last year with 38 receptions. And on that last play, Kenny Cologne flew a real good block to help Bicchetti break loose. And there's a look at Bicchetti. Boy, this kid gives you everything he's got. 5'9", 190. A little Mark Cox, they call him.
And they're right back into the game with 9:16 left.
And they have had the ball. They've had their chances. Olshansky to try the extra point. Pat Clark is the holder.
And they're looking at Jeff Bicchetti. He's limping off, and they're going to send in a substitution for him right now. It looks like George Beisel's coming back in. They're going to go for 2.
They're going to go for 2. The run-and-shoot offense coming in right here with 9:16 to go. Hofstra trailing by 6 right now. Nicky Johnson has come into the ball game. He'll line up as the superback behind George Beisel as they go for the 2-point conversion. Beisel throwing. It's going to be incomplete. That ball was deflected. Brogan was the intended receiver, and the 2-point conversion goes awry. The score remains 19-13, but a lot of time left, Marty, with 9:16. Hofstra taking advantage of the miscue, the turnover, and scoring this touchdown.
And as we take another look at it, watch, George Beisel goes back. It's a quick screen in the middle. There's Jeff Bicchetti. He takes it. Now watch him make the cut for the outside, and you'll see a great block coming up by Kenny Cologne, number 84, clears the way to the end zone.
Jeff Bicchetti caught 2 touchdown passes last year. Then he's limping, as you see, coming up after that play.
Well, we've talked all night about how dedicated Kenny Cologne is. Watch him right here. Deliver, cuts it off, hits winners. There's Jeff Bicchetti wide open to run it in. There we go. Let's take one more look at it. There it is. It's a simple pass. Give credit to George Beisel, Kenny Cologne, Jeff Bicchetti. They all made it happen.
Well, the screen has been very effective for Hofstra in the second half. Earlier tonight, Marty, we had mentioned that they were looking to isolate the superback on the linebacker, run maybe some screen stuff, and here in the second half, it's been effective.
And as we look at Jeff Bicchetti, it looks like he may have a turf toe or some problem with his big toe. Maybe we won't see him the rest of the night. He's a very valuable part to that offense.
So Hofstra to kick off. Voss, the deep man, as you see Bicchetti being worked on. Rick Zeppelo staff, excellent training staff. Crowd has certainly come alive after that touchdown. Hofstra has moved the football here in the second half rather effectively. Olshansky to kick off. Voss standing at the 5. Good kick, driving Voss to the 3. Straight up the middle. Voss to the 30-yard line and down.
And another flag.
As he was brought down on the play by Nicky Johnson, but as you said, Marty, another flag on the play. Had a lot of illegal blocks on these returns. But this one hurts Hofstra. It's a face mask penalty. That'll be a 15-yard walk-off from the line of the point of the infraction.
Well, this is a big defensive series for Joe Gardy and his defense because he realizes...
5-yard face mask on the kicking team. And the end of the kick, first down.
He realizes as he looks up at the scoreboard, his team's only 6 points down, but there's less than 10 minutes to play, 9:08 to be exact. If his defense comes up with a big play, his offense can come out and take control of the game.
Both teams penalized quite a bit tonight, 19 penalties. Hofstra for 80 yards, Butler 76. Johnson runs into a brick wall, falls forward to Hervé Damas's arms. Pickup of around 2 as he got to around the 36-yard line. Down on the field once again, here's Carl Reuter.
All right, Barry, the word on Jeff Paquette. He got a big toe sprain on his right foot. It actually happened on the play before the touchdown. His foot kind of curled underneath. Now they're working on him. They're taping it. They said he's not going to be able to drive off of that foot so much, so don't look for him to really run the football. They said he'd be best right now at catching the football. He will be back.
All right, Carl, second down. Quick pitch. Johnson straight ahead. And again, that swarming defense stopping him at the 38-yard line. Jeff Johnston, who may be in double figures in tackles, coming up and meeting the play head on right there.
Well, Ken LaRose has got to look up at the scoreboard too, and he's got to realize he cannot get conservative here because there's plenty of time to play, and Joe Gardy's offense, once they get things clicking, can score very quickly.
Well, they have passed effectively tonight. Pfizer with the 2 interceptions. That certainly hurt, but other than that, they have moved the football rather effectively tonight. 3rd and 6 coming up right here. A little play action. He buys some time. In trouble. Fumbles the football. It's loose. Still loose. And picked up. Avon to the end zone. Fritz Avon. A 27-yard return. Check it. Hervé Damas. Number 56 instead of 58.
Well, make things happen. That was Joe Gardy's philosophy in the NFL, and he's brought it here to Hofstra. He's told his defense, make things happen, play aggressive, and good things will always happen. Right there, the defense never gave up Hervé Damas. He picked it up, and he was going to take it in for a score.
The man with the big play potential coming up with the big play. Hervé Damas, the psychology major. And are they happy? The extra point to put Hofstra in front. Walt Olshansky out of the hole of Clark. Hofstra takes the lead.
How quick things can change.
2 big defensive plays, and Hofstra takes advantage and scores a quick 14 points.
Watch the defense, Barry. They never give up. Here they come. They come in and collapse. I think it's Tyler on the collapsing. Fritzy Avon's on top, but watch Hervé scoop it up, and he's going all the way in for the score.
Fritzy Avon, I think, caused that fumble. If we get another look at it, he was in along with Tyler, 58, and jarred Stahl loose of the football. And there's one happy kid from Springfield Gardens.
Here it is right here. Stahl goes back. He's got to make a decision. They're coming in from everybody. He sees Nicky Johnston right there in front of him. They come in. The ball is loose. Well, once Hervé catches it, there's nobody going to catch him.
Well, he's got great speed. 4.7 speed at that linebacker spot. 6'3", 240. And Hofstra, a 4th quarter club, has taken the lead by 1, 20-19. Still a lot of time left, Marty. And the fans here at Hofstra Stadium are really enjoying it.
But the one thing we have to remember, that Butler, they have a place kicker that doesn't have good range. Pat Kelly, he's got to be over there saying, hey, score, guys. Don't put the pressure on me.
Well, looked like Hofstra was out of this game, trailing 19-7 after self-destructing at the 1.5-yard line. They couldn't push it in. But here in the 4th quarter, they have stormed back. Olshansky drives Voss back to the 3-yard line. He's got the wedge up the middle. Voss breaks a couple of tackles and then gets to the 25-yard line. Mike Pepper coming up and making the hit. The linebacker, number 38. And a look at Jason Stahl. Up until those last 2 series, Marty, had played a typical mistake-free game, the interception and the fumble. And that has turned the game around.
And another thing, Barry, play selection. You got to realize that this run and shoot offense can score very quickly. You can't keep grinding and grinding and grinding. Look at the first half. They were 60-40 run, but get the passes in there.
Stahl dropping straight back. We'll try a short pass here, complete to the tight end, to the 35-yard line. And Travis Dixon, who caught the touchdown pass earlier, picks up some good yardage to the 35, very close to the first down. It'll be about a half yard or about a yard shy, setting up a 2nd down and 1. 7:17 to go here for the Butler Bulldogs, trailing by a point. They led in this game throughout until just a couple of minutes ago when Hervé Damas went some 28 yards with that fumble. The fullback gets the call this time. Steve Ewell And boy, is he met by the big line there and driven back. Once again, Vinny Leone coming up with a good play. And now, a 3rd and short situation. Put you on the spot, Marty. Will you, little play action, go deep here in a 3rd down play? You got Bosch, you got Hill. What do you think?
Well, it's 3rd and 1. The first thing I want to do is pick up the first down. Right now, you're looking at number 20 staring you right in the face. Jeff Johnston has had an outstanding game.
Hofstra with a big surge, trying to stop the big guy, but Johnson breaks through to the 40-yard line. Hervé Damas on the tackle, but he had a good surge that time out of that I formation. Hofstra was looking to come on that play and get him in the backfield, but he broke free. Here's Carl Reuter on the sideline.
Last year, remember the strip that Fritz Avon forced and Emery Tyler ran it in? I walked over to Fritz Avon and said, Fritz, who made the strip? He said, I did. Just like last year, Emery ran it in. Today, Hervé ran it in. Those are the guys that get top billing. I said, well, you made the strip and the guys know about it.
All right, Carl, flag on the play. Voss, the intended receiver on the far side, incomplete. Peter Scheibe on the coverage. There were a couple of flags thrown on the play.
And that last play, Hervé Damas was coming off. I hope we can get a shot of him down there. He was bleeding very bad from the mouth.
Well, there's a new rule as far as bleeding is concerned this year, Marty, coming a page out of the basketball problems that they had with bleeding.
Well, I think it's a great rule now with all the infections and viruses going around. Anybody bleeding will have to come out, change their uniform before they can go back in. Now we see Hervé going back in.
Defensive holding. First down. Wait.
Hervé Damas back in the ball game. Defensive holding is given. Butler first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. 6 minutes to go. The nose of the football just over the midfield mark. Hofstra, which trailed throughout this game, leading by a point, 20-19. Stahl with time, throwing deep to the sideline, and an incompletion on the far side. Peter Scheibe, the defender, against Eric Voss.
Well, Peter Scheibe had excellent position right there. He goes back. If the ball's well thrown, possible interception. Voss has to come back for it. Scheibe comes back, knocks it down.
Of course, it was Scheibe's big interception that really turned this game around. Stahl now 16 for 24, 224 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and of course that big fumble. 2nd and 10 from the 49-yard line. Out of the eye. Johnson for about 8. Stopped at the 42-yard line. But again, a good surge before Hervé Damas, and Jeff Johnston, the linebackers, brought him down. So it'll set up another big 3rd down play here, Marty. 3rd and about 3.
Well, right now you're almost in 2-down territory, Barry. If you don't pick it up on the first, on 3rd and 2, hopefully you can pick up 1, then it'll be 4th and 1. But with the clock ticking down, you're 1 point behind. You're out of the field goal range. You have to go for it. This is 2-down territory.
Ball at the 42.5-yard line. The fullback is stopped. There's a loose ball down there. And Hofstra with another big defensive play, Marty. Now, a good surge there by Jeff Johnston. I thought the ball might have popped loose because there was such a big hit there, but be that as it may, Hofstra has forced the 4th down play here, and a big decision for the coach. And I think they're going to go for it, obviously, trailing by a point.
It's that front triangle. You have number 98, Tyler. You got 79, Pisano. And you got number 20, Jeff Johnston. They've been doing an excellent job.
Butler will take one of their 3 timeouts right here. We've got time out of the field. Hofstra leading by a point. Don't go away. 4:42 to go here in the 4th. Both teams make changes here. Butler trailing by a point. Single setback to throw Stahl. Looking for Voss. Voss dives and makes an outstanding catch at the 22-yard line with Rocco Sadler on the coverage. But Voss showing why he is their leading receiver and one of their all-time leading receivers in Butler history.
And Peter Scheibe made a critical mistake right there. Stahl goes back, he throws. There's Voss, but watch Scheibe. He turns, he looks at the quarterback, gives Voss a golden opportunity to catch it, keeps the drive alive, and now we're under the 5-minute mark.
Ball at the 21.5-yard line. Big play by Stahl, the cool veteran. Here's Johnson behind Ewell. Johnson close to the first down, downed it around the 10 or 11-yard line by Hervé Damas. So Johnson picking up big yardage. And right now, Kenny LaRose's ball club certainly within field goal range. But as we know, their field goal kicker has struggled. Although he has kicked a field goal to put him in front, Pat Kelly. That was at 19-7. Right now they trail 20-19. 2nd and 1 from the 12. Johnson got away from Johnston and spun forward and got the first down. He had him wrapped up there. Jeff Johnston had him wrapped up, broke free, and finally Vinny Leone and Mike Gifford stopped him.
Johnston right there in the backfield almost took the handoff. You wrap him up, 2-yard loss. Now it's 4th and 3. Instead, the determination by Johnson picks up the first down. It's 1st and 10. They can pick up a first down, Barry, without scoring a touchdown.
They're at the 11-yard line. More importantly, the clock ticking. 3:24 to go. Hofstra defense, which has come up with some big plays here in the second half, particularly in the 4th quarter, needs a big play here.
Look for Johnson to get the ball 3 straight times. Nope, bootleg.
Stahl looking, throwing for the end zone. It is going to be knocked down. Is it going to be called an interception? Yes, yes, an interception on the far side by Peter Scheibe. Peter Scheibe on the far sideline coming up with the football, his 2nd interception of the 4th quarter.
And Peter Scheibe was back there hiding in the weeds, right there on the bootleg. Stahl throws it, he doesn't see Scheibe, comes over, 2nd interception of the night.
So the big play coming up again for Hofstra as we take another look. Voss, the intended receiver.
There's Stahl, he goes back on the bootleg, and out of nowhere, here comes number 29, jumps in front, gets control, big interception.
Well, Hofstra backed up 1st and 10 at the 6-yard line. Butler, remember, has still 2 timeouts remaining. Beisel to throw, knocked down at the 18-yard line. And another look at Peter Scheibe's big interception at the 2-yard line.
Right here, there's no pressure on Stahl. He can take his time, but he throws it out there. Joey Driver there, excellent coverage. Looks like the ball hit the ground there too, Barry.
Well, the officials on it, I thought it might have been knocked down there. But there's the man of the hour for Hofstra. Greg Gigantino's defense coming up big. Well, we mentioned these guys, we called them munchkins. Can these little cornerbacks come up and make the big plays? And this guy certainly has. They may get beat on a play or two, but he loves these cornerbacks.
Well, there's plenty of time right here. George Beisel has got to get him out of the end zone. 2nd
and 10 at the 6. Remember, they gave up a safety earlier in a similar situation. 2:59 to go. Beisel will put it on the ground. Nicky Johnson to the 10-yard line and got him a little breathing room, but they still face a big yardage to get that first down. It'll be 3rd and about 6. Matt Kistler on the tackle. Clock ticking. 2:40 to go. Hofstra leading by a scant 1 point. 3rd and about 6. Beisel using up some of the time. Hofstra needs to keep the drive alive here. Johnson is the superback. Remember, Bichetti got hurt earlier. And there's a flag on the play. The ball deflected and caught by Shamella on the deflection. Looks like Kathman almost got a piece of it. Terry Bolin might have been offside. Was he drawn offside, Marty?
I believe it's going to be delay of game. The clock was down to 0.
Terry Bolin, number 75, was moving, and Hofstra clapping right now, so that may be the call. But if it was Bolin moving, they needed 6. We'll get a look after Art Bellows tells us. Inadvertent flag. Nope. There we go. Terry Bolin, number 75, if we get a look at it, might be the man.
There it is. He's in the neutral zone.
Good call. Good spot by my son Greg, who's working up here in the booth.
What about the offside?
Greg, want to thank him. Hal Sass, our super stats, helping out. Jim Sheehan, the SID from Hofstra. Jim McGrath, also from Butler. Well, that is a big play, no doubt about it. They mark it off, and it is enough for the first down.
Offside, defense, 5 yards, first down.
So they needed 5, and they got it on the penalty. So Butler taking a page out of Hofstra, making some costly mistakes, mental mistakes. 1st and 10 at the 16, 2:12 to go. Hofstra just has to hold on to the football here. Nicky Johnson will try to do that, fighting for extra yards. And at this point, if you're Butler, you're trying to strip him of the ball.
And if you're Joe Gardy, you want to see the clock keep ticking.
Dave Kathman and Sean Bays combining on the stop. Joe Gardy's club looking to win their season opener and continue their streak of 13 straight home openers in the past. There's Kenny LaRoe's club, which has made a couple of costly mistakes here in the 4th quarter, and Hofstra's turned them into 14 points. Pfizer with 1.5 minutes to go. And struggling and keeping it on the ground to the 21-yard line. Now it looks like Butler will exercise one of their two remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with 1. We've got a timeout. Back with the final minute 21. Hofstra leading by. As to why Hofstra's in front, their defense has come up big. And with a 3rd and 5 at the 21. Hofstra needs a first down to run the clock out here. Nicky Johnson is the superback. Wayne Cribette going in motion. Beisel to throw. In trouble. Got away from Tona for the moment and held onto the football as he got to the 21-yard line. But Tona looked like he was going to possibly try to strip him. But wisely, George Beisel able to hold onto the football.
The smart thing George did, he took the sack, but he did not fumble.
Cross, the freshman, has punted 3 times, averaged 44 yards. We've got under a minute to go. Do you think they'll try to block it here? They line up 10 men at the line of scrimmage. Voss is the only man back. Hofstra will use up all the time here that they possibly can. 7 seconds on the play clock. And they'll let it run down, undoubtedly. 10 men up at the line of scrimmage. Now the delay of game is called with exactly 30 seconds left.
And this is a lot of pressure on Eric
Dead ball
Cross.
foul, delay game on the offense.
A young freshman, back by his own end zone. He's got to get off a big kick. There's still 30 seconds left. Butler has time to set up a nice return, good field position, and then bring in their place kicker and try to win it with the field goal.
Voss, number 2 in his conference last year in punt returns, averaging about 9 a game, 9 yards per return. Here's Cross standing back inside the 5. Larry Winters came in. Look at this booming kick, high kick. Voss at the 45. Voss taken down at the 47 or 8-yard line. Excellent coverage once again. And Scott Marcantonio, a linebacker you like, coming up with a big play on the special team.
I saw Marcantonio last week in the scrimmage have an interception, 3 sacks. Should have had a second interception. I like this guy. He plays very aggressive. He plays head up, and he likes to hit people.
39-yard kick, just a 4-yard return. We're down to 22 seconds. 1st and 10 at their own 48. Jason Stahl back to throw, in trouble, and will be sacked. Ricky Wyatt, number 95, and Emery Tyler and Fritzy Avon all coming in on that play.
Fritzy Avon coming in there, beating his man, being very determined, sacks the quarterback.
Yeah, Hofstra with the great job right there. And we'll get Ricky Wyatt coming to the sideline along with Fritzy Avon. They'll get sent back in. They were on that pass rush.
Joe Gardy told us all week that his defense had to keep the offense in the game, and they're proving it right now. They scored once. The game is going to be won or lost by his defense. He's got to be very proud of these young men right now.
Well, we mentioned guys that can break a game open. Hervé Damas, Fritzy Avon made the big hit that resulted in that loose ball that Damas picked up and ran in for the touchdown. Fritzy coming up with another big play there. 14 seconds remaining in this ball game. And Hofstra leading by 1. Joe Gardy looking to improve his record to 25-9. Now all of the water bottles on the field. Ty Sunday trying to pick them up and get them off there. Talk about extra equipment on the field. Here we go. 14 seconds left. Stahl throwing deep for Voss. He reaches out, couldn't get it at the 20. Clock stops with 8 seconds.
And here's a mental mistake, unnecessary roughness. Vinny Leone hitting the quarterback after he throws the ball. Very crucial, very, very crucial right there. You've got to pull up.
Well, it will give him 15 yards less to worry. They still have to throw a bomb here. Sadler and Scheibe were defending against Voss on that last pass.
Well, Barry, all you need is a down and out, pick up 10 yards, and then put it in a place kicker.
Well, that's the problem. They don't really have a lot of faith, as you mentioned, in their place kicking. Ron White, who normally does the punting, may be their long-range place kicker.
Well, I think if the game's going to be won or lost, you put it in Ron White and says, hey, try to kick it in.
Got the long
They
foot.
still have to pick up another 10 yards. There's only 8 seconds. It's got to be a down and out. They're out of timeouts.
Voss, top of your screen to the left. Hill to the right. Looking for Voss. It's batted down. Vinny Leone coming up with the big play.
Vinny Leone just redeemed himself. First time he had the penalty. This time he's aware. Get your hands up, knocks the ball down. We got time for one play, and it's going to be the Hail Mary.
Tyler was putting pressure on in that last play as well. They really like this front four of Avon, Paisano, Tyler, and Leone. It's the deepest part of their team, the down linemen, and they made a big play there. This will be the final play of this football game, Marty, with 4 seconds left.
And they're going to try it, Barry. A 54-yard field goal with Wright.
Ron White to try the kick. It is going to be way short, and this one is over. So Hofstra does it again in the fourth quarter. Kenny LaRoe's club had a 19-7 lead early here in the fourth quarter, and Hofstra emerges with a 20-19 win.
Well, you say the few and the proud. You got players out there, they weren't going to quit. You start with Hervé Damas. He's the inspiration for this team. They fought, they scratched, they did everything possible. The defense scored. Give this young team a lot of credit. Give Joe Gardy and his coaching staff a lot of credit for making the adjustments at halftime.
Well, they played an outstanding second half. They held Butler to just the field goal, which they got very early in the third quarter after the Hofstra turnover to start the third quarter. And the defense came up big. Peter Scheibe with 2 big interceptions. Hervé Damas returning the fumble. And Hofstra emerges with a 1-point victory, takes their season opener 20-19. Down on the field, our Carl Reuters getting set with Joe Gardy, and let's go to them right now.
All right, Barry, thanks very much. Trying to be a little evasive here. I know you're looking for a football, and I know we'll get into that, but Coach, you can't deny that you really needed to win game 1 of the season because it is a boost, and it really puts you over the top. You said you were playing with the big dogs. Your defense won this football game.
Yeah, they were a good football team. I told you, Butler's exactly like Dayton. And that was our spring practice, that first half. Michael, come over here.
It's Michael Healy now, the father of Joe. Go ahead.
Mike, we're going to give you the game ball. Okay, I promise you, babe. Okay.
Mike, congratulations. I know it means a lot to you. You're on the sidelines with the coach all the game. You go back a long time. Your days at Maryland, it was a great dedication ceremony before the game.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Hofstra's just been wonderful for a tragedy that we've had. They've been our family, and we feel like part of their family. And I'm really excited for Joe.
Me on the sidelines.
All right, cherish that football now. Let's go back to Butler a little bit. You had to start worrying. You weren't doing anything in that second half again.
Right, but we kept telling our young men we have the ability to score, and we know we can get them quick. I didn't know it was going to be on defense. But look, we have a philosophy. We're going to win whichever way we can. If it's kicking game, if it's offense, defense, and offense was a little sluggish, wasn't putting the points, defense came through, and that's great.
I don't want to single out any one guy, but you have to really look at this one and talk about Fritzy Avon and Hervé Damas.
They were outstanding. I'll tell you, we were a little weak in the secondary. You know, they're only going to get better, those guys. And our D-line and linebackers really made up for that little bit of weakness, but they're going to get better. This is a great win. Great comeback.
Great comeback. Still some mistakes to overcome, though. How do you work on that, Joe?
Yeah, well, we just tell them we can't beat ourselves. We can't give a team the momentum we did in the first half. And this is a great confidence builder, Carl. We needed this. God almighty. After last year and the breaks went against us, we needed the breaks to go our way. It's a great comeback victory. I'm proud of my guys.
You were also concerned down at the end there. You were talking to George Beisel because you didn't want that safety because the safety loses it for you.
Right. And we ran the ball a little bit, which we're not used to doing. And we made some nice calls down there. And we were going to win it. Let them score on our defense. And I didn't think they were going to. That was our plan. Let them go ahead and score the winning touch, and they couldn't do it.
The few, the proud.
Yeah. Survivors. Proud of this football team.
Congratulations, Joe Gaudy. Mike Healy, congratulations. It's a great night for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Coach Joe Gaudy walks off the field. We'll grab that last handshake. The Flying Dutchman, 20-19, and Joe gave the game ball to Mike Healy before the game. Mike Healy is the father of Joe Healy, who was tragically killed a few years ago. He was an assistant coach. Joe Gaudy brought him in. Mike Healy, Joe Gaudy, friends, teammates at the University of Maryland during their college days. It's a great night for the Hofstra Flying Dutchman. They win it by the score of 20-19. Wrap it all up from Hofstra University right after this timeout. Stay with us.
Yes, I got to get to my show.
Let's go.
Easy.
Stetson Cologne. Comfortable, easy to wear.
Say, you like country music?
Should I?
Not right now. Where's that great smelling guy who got me here tonight? I've got a front row seat here just for you.
Stetson Cologne. Easy to wear, hard to resist.
Enthusiasm, pride, excitement. That's athletics at Hofstra University and the spirit of the Hofstra Pride Club. Through scholarships, facility improvements, and other special projects, the Hofstra Pride Club gives our student athletes the winning edge. Pride Club membership puts you on the inside track of the Hofstra athletic program with season tickets to sporting events and much more. Make a difference in a young person's life and build a strong foundation for some of the nation's best and brightest. Come, share the pride.
Your biggest competitor is working on a proposal for the same job you're after.
You want this to be enlarged?
They have about the same idea as you do.
Copy this slide.
The only difference is...
Let's print it.
They own a Canon color laser copier, and you don't. Who would you give the job to? If you think you can't afford a Canon color laser copier, maybe you can't afford to be without one.
New York's authorized source for Canon office equipment, Leslie Copiers. For more information, call 1-800-LESLIE-9.
When you add it all up, it's the total college experience that makes Hofstra University the one to choose. Hofstra University. Call 516-HOFSTRA.
Hofstra football has been brought to you by Stetson. Easy to wear, always hard to resist. Available at Genevieve's drugstores. By Leslie Supply, New York's authorized source for Canon office equipment. And by Hofstra University. Call 516-HOFSTRA.
Well, Marty Lyons, the crowd has filed out. They saw a thriller, Hofstra, coming up with a big fourth quarter. A lot of heroes tonight for the Flying Dutchman, especially in that fourth quarter.
Well, you look at Peter Scheibe, 2 interceptions. Hervé Damas, the big play for a touchdown. But the one guy that stands out in my mind that brought the offense back up there was Kenny Cologne. Just an outstanding effort. As we look at Scheibe's second interception, the defense, they rose to the occasion. Like Joe said earlier, it's the few and it's the proud. I don't need the big guys. I don't need the strong guys. I need the guys with heart, and we saw that tonight.
Well, offensive coordinator Matty Mitsakis said, hey, the defense is going to have to lead us early part of the season till the offense catches up. Defense came up big in the second half, but George Beisel had a lot of guys to go to. I think mixed it up very well, and I think they have to be pleased with the exception of a couple of mistakes of how the offense worked tonight.
Well, Barry, I think they have to be very pleased. You know, it could have been a blowout. I think Butler's going to look at the films, too, and realize that a lot of mistakes that Stahl made, if he had taken his time or if he had run it, it wouldn't have happened. 2 poor throws, 2 bad interceptions, but that's the way the ball bounces. We talked all night about this was a game of big plays. Hofstra comes up with the big play at the end. Scheibe takes him in, reserves the victory.
4 turnovers in the second half by the Hofstra defense really turned the game around, and Hofstra emerges with a 20-19 victory, and they head on to Rhode Island next week. That's a team they beat rather easily here at Hofstra Stadium last year. What can we look for next week?
Well, I think the one thing Joe wants to do is find something that's going to be consistent on offense. He knows that his defense can keep him in the game. The special teams played well. He wants to go in there and probably look at his injuries. You saw a lot of people limping around. He knows that now he's in the season. Now it's game time. Every week you can't have excuses. There's no more spring practice.
Well, Donnie Gillum you saw injured. Jeff Pichetti injured as well. We'll see if they're going to be ready for next week. So once again, the final